I see you watching. Like and subscribe to see more of our content. Don't be mean to Rico so he has to take a nap, right, Rico?
No, I need it. We need positive. Listen, we're a bubble team right now. Get us in the fucking tournament. Like and subscribe.
Like, subscribe. You're watching anyway. Just like and subscribe for us so you get alerts from when we do anything during March.
And here we go.
Yee, welcome to Barstool Bench Mob, presented by High Noon Hard Seltzer. Everyone is on this episode. Riggs, Rico, Jake, producer Jake. We went to Iowa. We've been to Rutgers. Again, I want to shout out everyone for coming to Rutgers because that was unbelievable. That was probably one of our biggest crowds. They said not many people go there before the game, and it was awesome. Fuck the haters. I don't care what anyone says, right?
It was great.
I can't have you like this.
Rico is very down today. He is not bringing the energy. He's upset. It's okay, Rico. This is our last February episode.
I thought you were going to say last episode.
Dave said one thing, and he literally is just pouting this entire day. He's like, I have a backup plan. I'll be a bartender after this. It's like, what the
There's plenty
fuck?
of bartenders.
We literally went to a live show with over 100, probably over 120 people, and you're just like, that was my last
Rico,
one.
look at the plus side. Your face was on the picture. At least I wasn't in this college basketball content tweet, so that's a win.
I guess, yeah, glass half full. You got a raw deal.
Yeah, anyways, we'll get Rico in a better mood. But the biggest storyline from this weekend, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9, all lost on Saturday. So we'll break down which upset means the most. Some conference tournament brackets are released, plus an interview at a very good time. Wisconsin senior guard Brad Davison joining the show.
Senior guard.
And I took that from my Bohannon book. But yeah, this is going to be it could get
named
very
Brad?
contentious.
What?
Are all of our tough interviews going to be named Brad?
Who else besides Calipari?
Well,
We became friends with him. Maybe that'll happen after
that's what I'm
today.
saying. We just have a pattern of Brads.
Yeah,
Fran
true.
Fraschilla.
There's
Now,
a reason why, like,
enemy
when
turned
people
friend.
make fun of, like, if you think of a name to make fun of, it's Brad or Chad.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so that interview could get very, very interesting given what transpired at Rutgers over the weekend. And yeah, you're listening to this. If you're listening on Monday, it's the last day of February. If you're listening on Tuesday, congrats, you made it to the best month of the year.
It's not a leap year?
No leap year.
When's the next leap year?
2024.
Why do you know that?
Because it's every 4 years. 2020.
Every 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you knew
Like
the last one was in 2020?
I took a guess because I remember everyone freaking out about 2020. It was right before the coronavirus.
Yeah.
So leap year's
Why
a
I'm proud of the
bad.
coronavirus.
And
that-
another reason why I know
Year
it
of the
is
rat, too, was coronavirus.
part of my take started on a leap year day. The first episode was February 29th, 2016.
So you guys only really been around for 2 years.
Correct. Me less. I haven't been involved since then.
So Bench Mob is about at the same fucking point as BMT. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, let's get in the show.
And here we go.
All right, before we get into today's episode, I mean, if someone went through every one of our episodes and I just go, all right, before we get into today's episode, they're probably like, holy shit, find a new fucking word, dude. No?
What was the thing you were breaking
Bit
my
of
chops about that I say?
By the same token.
Transitions? Nah, it's something else.
You say by the same token
Yeah.
all the time.
On the other hand, I think maybe. Yeah, all right, go ahead.
Today's episode is brought to you by High Noon Hard Seltzer. We got to the bar at Rutgers. They're like, dude, I think we're going to sell out of High Noon. Like, right away, right? We were there for 25
They did say
minutes,
that.
and it's like people are hounding us for High Noon.
They ran out with 6 minutes left in the show.
They ran
they
out?
did run out.
Crowd was
See, that's
rowdy.
what they were rowdy. They
That's-
loved High Noon. I go to Green Rock. They see me, bucket of High Noon right on the table. It's the best. It's real vodka. It's real juice. It's none of that malt nonsense. Real vodka you get in the liquor store because it's real. So go get your High Noon Hard Seltzer. It's March. It's gonna be March. You got to
weather's turning, makes it
yeah,
even
weather's
nicer.
turn. That's what it is. The weather and
Yep.
High Noons you are all year round, but in the summer it does hit a little different.
They also take
I would say
a
even that first like 70, 75
Yeah.
degree day.
I
with
think,
the high
yeah.
noon,
Even the
fucking high
50s.
noon.
I think like just if it's over 40, High Noons are fantastic.
They will be they will be flowing at my Kentucky Derby party.
They will be what, Rico? Flowing,
not
not
throwing.
throwing.
Why this guy with his Kentucky Derby party is just he's like, I was gonna invite him into my Kentucky Derby party.
I didn't realize he was living by me because like that's our thing.
I didn't-
you're-
We do derby parties.
Oh, yeah,
here.
there's no
I know,
All of a sudden,
yeah,
Rico's
well, yeah.
out in my neck of the woods.
no
Yeah,
one
no.
does derby parties.
That's the
here.
thing. So there's no oblos. Everybody should go.
But go get your High Noon Hard Seltzer. All right, let's talk about all the fucking craziness last night.
Yeah, so we'll go in order here because numbers 1 through 6 lost. Number 9 lost. Congrats to Marty. Number 7, Duke won.
Oh.
Highest ranked team to win.
Wow.
Doesn't say much after what Syracuse did. But anyways, yeah, we'll go down the order.
I mean, it says a lot about Duke. I mean, they're the ones that beat the shit out of them. You're the one that says it's hard to win on the road in conference.
It is, but
not against the JV team.
No. Now the narrative changes. Got it.
They're literally letting Jim Boeheim coach his little league kids.
No,
Yeah,
I'm sure everyone won on the road, right, Riggs?
We weren't at full strength. Didn't count.
Okay.
Everyone shook hands after the game as well.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll get to that one later. Look at a second there.
Riggs had a fucking break. He's like, fuck, I didn't think about that one.
Forgot about that one.
All right.
Oh, I don't care about the handshake.
Number 23, St. Mary's, 67. Number 1, Gonzaga, 57. Marty, you're in an interesting spot here because you said, yes, the WCC is crap. St. Mary's, clearly not crap. They're a ranked team. They looked like the much better team for all 40 minutes. Yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, Gonzaga did not look good. Chet it's still awkward to watch him. Just like him dribbling the ball. It just looks like he's not trying almost. You know what I mean? But this is like, I know
he's a string bean.
But he's so fluid.
Yeah, but he's so
he shouldn't
fluid.
be good. He really
He
shouldn't.
shouldn't be, but he is, obviously. But Gonzaga just didn't have it last night. I mean, these are the two teams I knew were going to get in from the WCC. This didn't do anything. It's just Gonzaga is not immortal like everyone kind of thinks. And they're just...
Well, we knew that before Christmas. I mean, they took those 2 L's.
Yeah,
like
2
they were
L's,
beatable.
like,
Nobody's
two
immortal.
teams.
I'm saying in
Yeah.
the WCC.
It's the first non-bench mob team to lose to beat Gonzaga this year.
Is it real? Doesn't it make sense that St. Mary's was the one to beat them though, with their history of all these
they
years?
do it every few years, right?
Right?
Like Gonzaga takes this loss every few years. Like, remember, what was it? Not a year ago, 2 or 3 years ago, it was BYU, the last game of the regular season, when BYU was about the same level as St. Mary's.
Yeah, it was February 22nd, 2 days before, 2 games before the regular season.
Was that 2020?
Yes.
Yeah. So they do this every other year. I'm just glad. You know what? I'm proud of Marty. I'm glad that Marty didn't overreact with Gonzaga's trash. Like it is a little unfair for Gonzaga, where yes, they do get the benefit of playing in the WCC versus Big 12, whatever, where they are usually set up for a decent seed if they take care of business in the non-conference. But at the same time, like when they do lose to a St. Mary's team who is decent, 70% of Twitter and people like watching college basketball freak out. Like, this is why Gonzaga can't be a 1 seed. It's like they lose once.
They've had 2 Final Fours in the last 5 years.
I love how you did say like Marty didn't.
As you tweeted,
I tweeted
they should be, what,
Gonzaga.
they should miss the tournament?
So Gonzaga should miss the tournament because they lost to a team in WCC.
You missed that one.
But like that's
it over.
Yeah, but you know that's just like people still think like I'm serious when I say that shit, which is why I love saying it because they're fucking
I know the Marty
morons.
shtick versus Marty talk.
Yes, but like I mean that game literally like when it happened, it didn't do anything for me. It just like made me happy because I don't like Gonzaga.
That's right. I agree with that as well. Really, on the scale of things, it means nothing. They're still going to be like minus.
They shouldn't be a
10,000 to win.
They shouldn't be the 1 seed.
No,
in the country right now. They could be a 1 seed.
They definitely be the 1 seed. The 1 overall might hurt them, but with everybody losing, they still might be the 1 overall. More of the question I have is how they lost.
They didn't look good at all.
Timmy, and I know he was in foul trouble. Timmy and Holmgren, 12 points, 17 shots.
Yeah.
The least, I think, Bolton took 10, but the other 2 starters took more than those. So they were like the least amount of shots in their starting 5. That can't is this now? Are people going to see the tape and be like, hey, we know how to beat Gonzaga?
No, I think this game's a total fluke, if I'm being honest. Number 2
I agree.
offense, they scored 57 points.
Well,
if it happens again, sure.
But
all right, is it
an outlier, not a fluke?
Sorry, Jake. Is this a fluke too, though? That when shit gets tough, Drew Timmy's like, not today. He loves it when he's up 30, and he fucking
mustache.
He loves everything, yeah. But when shit, you saw it last year in the championship game.
You don't think you could you don't think you should take that number 2 offense with a grain of salt
No.
when you play that in a conference like that?
86
like you are?
against Texas, 83
by-
UCLA, 81 Duke, 82 Alabama.
I get what. Yeah, I guess
Tech.
it is measured by possessions. It's measured by points per possession.
Yeah,
but
when
you're
you
saying
play-
level of competition.
Yeah, like because you're
They do.
they're a
Don't
top,
they scale it via level competition, Reegs?
Yeah, like there's so much that is factored into it. You can take like raw number and you can take
Like, if
that.
Yeah, but I'm
Chicago
just saying
State
where
was-
it's like, shout out Chicago State, they won yesterday.
They did.
They're actually not
Yeah,
that
they
bad
did.
this year.
But like if you're, I'm saying you're a top 5 team in the country, and then you're playing in the conference that is lower level than other ones, you're gonna get up more. Like I don't know how you can actually put the level of competition to.
Yeah.
I mean, there's fucking smart people in me, but I'm just saying like they probably get more possessions because they're dummying these teams.
I think it really.
To me, like I agree with what Jake said for sure. It just feels like an outlier, right? Like I'm not going to punish a team for having one night off.
No.
Where and I said to you guys off the camera right before we started recording, I had like a general take, and Rico kind of alluded to it of what I kind of took away from yesterday is with all the mayhem, there's not going to be a lot of change in terms of like how we look at the top 4 seeds in the NCAA tournament based on yesterday, especially the top. Like,
Right.
so many teams lost. Like the biggest change is Baylor's probably now a 1 seed over Kansas.
Yeah, and
Right. Like over everything that happened. That's
Marty and I
probably
were
it.
talking a little bit before the show. Before, I didn't think there was any path to Duke being a 1 seed.
There is a path
now. There's a little bit of an opening.
You know-
I don't think before yesterday.
I mean,
there
I don't
was.
get how you guys like.
No, Duke should have a path.
This
If Duke
is-
runs the table, there's a chance they get it.
Boys, I don't know if you know like math and shit, numbers. Like
No, they have-
usually
You don't.
when 1 through 6 lose, the 7 should be the 1 seed.
This is shtick. I'm protecting you, Marty. This is shtick. This is shtick.
I mean,
I really hope it is.
I don't get how
Please
they
tell
all,
me it's shtick.
They all lose.
No.
The 7 seeds the next runner up. You know,
See, I go the other. Like I'm just so where it's like this late in the
Duke's
year.
gonna
if
be
you
probably
think a team is better.
they're gonna be 5 now, 6, but no
Yeah,
5
move
or
up a spot or
no,
two,
probably
sure.
5 or 4. You
Yeah, they'll
have
probably
to
jump up to 4.
like Kentucky. I understand like it like in a real that doesn't do much for me, but I mean that's still you say not full strength, but that is something they have to worry about.
They
We're
were,
getting
yeah.
to fucking March, but like they're gonna move down. Like these teams are gonna move down. Duke wins, and Duke's not gonna lose to Pitt, and they're gonna fucking not gonna lose on Coach K's last game. They can definitely be a 1
So
seed.
running the table in the ACC tournaments, easier said than done. Like they could easily
Yeah,
stumble.
they could definitely stumble. I'm not. Yeah, I'm just saying there is for sure. Yesterday made a clear path.
You know what it really
Yeah.
reminds
It
me of?
opened it a little bit more.
It,
Yeah.
it reminds
Go ahead, Rico.
the 1 seeds right now kind of remind me of college football towards November, where you have to group the teams, right? And it's kind of a perfect scenario where they're grouped. So like the Big 12 had to get those playoff spots. Like you always have, when Oklahoma was playing Texas and they're both like 11, like all right, the winner of the Big 10 was going like Michigan, Ohio State last
like
year.
a de facto quarterfinal kind
Essentially a
of thing.
de facto quarterfinal. Like
Yeah.
you're starting to get the way it's going to go. Like Kansas and Baylor definitely line up. As far as
Like it'll work itself out kind of thing.
Auburn,
right?
and, Auburn and Kentucky are still, I guess, like right
Yep.
there. You know, like as far as the overall one, I do think it matters geographically. Like Gonzaga wants to be out west, so does Arizona. So what do we do with
Right.
those?
Arizona
It
could
de-
have jumped them.
It definitely helped that Arizona lost.
You have
Yeah.
a hard on for the geographic fucking.
If you're
Well,
It
No,
playing,
doesn't matter for the
important.
West.
I
really
understand.
important.
I
if
understand.
you're playing close,
Why can't I say you?
2014.
I'm not making fun of you.
2014.
you-
why did UConn make the Final Four?
You have
the
a
regional was in fucking Madison Square Garden.
raging hard boner for geographical.
It definitely,
things.
I think it
Fans
definitely
care
matters.
about it, Marty. I'll say this: the Gators made the Final Four in 2014 too. Orlando first round.
Definitely
site.
matters.
Yeah.
Yep.
It
So-
Kentucky
definitely
makes it
matters.
when they go to Memphis.
I'm
Definitely
just,
matters.
I'm just saying
Ooh,
you
like
have a
that.
hard on for it.
That's fair.
Because
Maybe he does.
it matters.
I think we're both saying facts.
Fair.
All right.
All
Yeah.
right. We
And
always have to
UConn
fight.
made the Final Four in 2014 because Georgia Niang broke his foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marty. I should have met. You should have called me when he met him. I would have said
just
that.
have him on the show.
Yeah.
That's heavy
Anyways,
on
wrapping
that
up
team.
this game. So Reegs and I think it's a fluke. You guys a little more nervous, but St. Mary's.
No,
Shout out
not-
to them.
No, I
Not
don't, I didn't
necessarily
say it's-
nervous.
I don't think it's a. I don't think you could say fluke because I mean,
Okay.
it's
So
I
we're
want to
gonna-
use the word outlier.
yeah, it's just
Fair.
like it doesn't put them down in my mind. I was like, I know what Gonzaga is. They're
Yeah.
they're a really good team. St. Mary's at home.
say it,
just
Marty.
happens.
Say they're a good team.
They're okay.
Oh no.
They're okay.
They're gonna be a
This is
top
baby
20
steps.
team.
Top 20. I mean, what am I? What do you want to? They're not going to make it to the Sweet 16.
Please, just press the shtick button.
I'm not.
You're-
This is not shtick. They're not going to make the Sweet 16.
Okay, but
Same
So like
Sometimes
a good
Sweet
team, a
16s
good team is Sweet 16. That's like not crazy.
Nah, it depends on the bracket.
Yeah, of course it does. It's that there's a luck goes into it. They're
Yeah, no one-
they're an
no one
above
thought Warwick
they're an
was a good
above
team.
average team.
Just say the word
Baby
good.
step.
It's
a win.
They're a
top
top average team.
Top 20 out of 358 is a good team.
They are, and they're an above average team.
Please.
I can't do it.
All right.
Gonzaga's good. I fucking hate them. They're good.
Okay. You're wrong again, but here we go.
How is that wrong? Gonzaga's good.
Yes, St. Mary's is better than above average team.
They're good.
Hey!
There it is.
They're
Good
good.
jout, Marty.
You complimented someone on the
They're
WCC.
good.
It's good.
All right.
Finally got it cracking on last episode.
Yeah.
Jesus, good our last episode.
Anyways,
That's
moving on.
Rico alluding to us getting fired, or him just leaving on his own.
Rico threatens to leave this show and this company once a month. It's just part of the routine.
He literally.
I was
Anyways,
doing good.
Let's
for a
keep
while.
it out west. Shout out the Storm Chasers. Colorado beats number 2 Arizona 79-63. What a day Caleb and Roan had. But Colorado, I don't think this puts them on the bubble. Maybe an outside chance. But Arizona, another one of those teams that was winning these games over and over again. Just their second loss since December.
So you don't see one. I give them a pass because the Storm Chasers, I don't even care. That's a real thing. They have powers.
Yeah, it is.
It just like gets the crowd more riled up. Like it
Especially
actually
it's
is
the
a thing.
second stop on the.
Oh my
like,
god, yeah, like them announce it's something.
It's easy.
But
It's
and,
easy.
and
It's an
also
easy one.
reality, like, do you worry about Arizona a little bit?
Yes.
They got dummied this game. It wasn't even close.
No
And
tournament experience is my biggest concern.
Sure, and the Pac-12.
How many games does their coach in the tournament as well?
He loves that too.
The Tommy Lloyd
He
thing.
loves that.
I was right about Juwan Howard.
I mean, they made it to the Elite
They were
Eight.
1 seed last year.
The Elite Eight is a good season.
All right.
You're
They
talking
lost
to one
to
guy.
the-
I understand the best of 7. Like if they lose in the best of 7 in the Elite 8, sure we can make fun. One game away from the Final Four.
I don't know if you're right about
I was I crossed them off my championship list. I was right.
Oh wow, you picked someone not to win a championship. You had a big chance for
I
that.
said I
happening.
worried.
But I was a little worried about Arizona, where they have the talent, they are a good team, but it's like the Pac-12 is okay, and I don't know, they just didn't like that wasn't a fluke last night to me.
Riggs, what do you think?
It was not a fluke that they. All right, let me say it this way: it was not a fluke that Arizona has the capability to get their ass kicked.
Yeah,
Like that, you could say it's a fluke that Colorado was the one that did it, and not like
Yeah.
USC or UCLA or someone like that. But they like what's weird about Arizona is I feel like their personality thrives so much on crowd. So I am kind of surprised, like in that scenario, they didn't play into it. Like Kirk Creason is an asshole that thrives on it. Benedict Mathern, like really good with that. So I'm surprised like they didn't like even like Terry, but I'm surprised that like that was the game that they got their ass kicked.
whoa.
He's talking about
It's the guy's
Dalen
name.
Terry.
I'm talking
Just
about an
watch out
Arizona
there, all
player.
right? Just
Got to be
watch.
specific in these
It's the
in
guy's
these walls.
name. What are you gonna do? It's the guy's name.
Marty, in the offseason, we should just invite 3 or 4 players and coaches named Terry.
Like Terry Bradshaw walks in.
Be unbelievable.
I'm trying to think of any other
I know
top
this.
of my head. Jason Terry.
This is gonna sound dumb, but like we even did this with gambling. Like the altitude, like people want to go to Colorado and Utah, like that does have an effect on some people. Like if
Well,
you
there
ever
was that
look at the
weird-
stats, like of
I
when
was gonna
teams
say, there's a
go to
weird
Utah,
stat.
Colorado, and play on the road that week, like they usually lose.
Did
I think
Arizona
there was
play?
only 2
Sorry.
teams ever.
Did Arizona play Thursday?
Yes, they beat Utah on the road. They had the
yes.
those
So
back-to-back
that's what I'm
games.
saying.
double
That's-
elevation.
They won
Yeah,
by
that's
20,
what
though. They
I
won by
haven't heard
20.
about that.
I know it's an
There's
actual.
only like 2 teams in the history to sweep the Utah Colorado week. It
Wouldn't
was,
you
like,
expect them to
Oregon a
struggle
couple
more with the
years
first
ago
game,
with
though?
UCLA.
Wow.
Because you're thinking like they
They're not
get
getting
used to it.
They
I
won by
don't.
20
Yeah,
at Utah.
I don't know. I think it just has something to do with it.
It's a weird trip, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah,
Good point.
Colorado.
You guys could say good point, Marty.
That's a very good point.
Thanks, guys.
I mean, okay.
You could say it. Does he? You're like I'm your WCC.
What?
You won't admit I'll have a good point.
That was a good point.
It was good.
But you asked.
He
for
said it
when
makes sense even more. With
Yeah.
there's 2 people who did it. So
Yeah. Yeah, so Colorado, they are 19-10. They're still number 83 in KenPom. I don't think they have a chance for an at-large. There's only 1 game left for them.
they're in Bill Walton's bracket.
Every team's in Bill Walton's bracket. They lost to Southern
I just want it
Illinois.
on the record.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, Yeah, I don't think they're an at-large team.
No.
But Arizona,
3 teams get in from there.
yeah, and
It's
Oregon had a
just-
chance on Thursday when they beat UCLA and then they lost to USC.
Oregon doesn't have a chance.
As an at-large, I don't think so.
Not really.
I mean,
There's so many losses.
They beat UCLA. Who else?
Yeah, but they have some awful losses. Last week they lost.
They lost to
No, I
Arizona
understand-
State
guys,
by
I understand.
Christmas.
I'm just saying who they beat.
Their wins.
USC
or
no, I'm
SMU,
sorry. UCLA
UCLA.
twice. Did they beat Arizona? Or they didn't take down Arizona?
No, they lost by
No.
3.
I mean,
So, yeah.
UCLA twice is their basically what it is.
Yeah, but losses to Arizona
That's-
State,
yeah.
Stanford, Cal, and Arizona State.
1,000%. I mean,
Twice.
I mean, Alabama has Rutgers has really, really awful losses too, and
They also have much better wins than this.
I mean, UCLA in hindsight is twice as.
If
pretty
Oregon
big.
gets in,
I know what you mean. I'm not.
if
trying to-
Oregon gets in and is in the first 4, and I know it's people are gonna be like, oh well, Pac-12, they're as dangerous as UCLA last year.
Of course.
Now,
veterans.
gun to head, do you think I'm gonna say, hey, they can make the Final Four? Absolutely not.
No.
Because I think the deck's stacked against them right now. But Riggs, would you agree? They're fucking pretty dangerous if they do get there. 12 seed, 11 seed.
Yeah, I mean, they're dangerous in the sense like everyone thought they were a top 15 team preseason, and now you're talking about them as a bubble team. where it's
Altman's
like-
been great in the tournament too.
That's the other thing. It's like, yeah, they do have success. I don't trust their guards. Like, they just don't have good guard play. And
What I want to know the stat
you
of
can't win it.
after the first 4, like it's got to be like a 90% clip that team wins the next game.
It's happened all but 1 year, I think, where a team
Yeah.
from the first 4 goes to the round of 32. Either every year or all
And
but 1 year.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah,
That's just
it
like
is.
No,
such a-
It's-
the round
actually
of-
is
they
a
would
thing.
go to the round of
32.
round of 32. Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes
when
sense.
when
Got it.
it's
yeah,
kind of bullshit.
because they have momentum.
Yeah, I mean they're playing. Like,
Yeah.
it obviously helps.
And it was like recent too. I want to say it was like 18 or 19 that the first 4 team didn't win.
But they do
Well-
have to go from Dayton somewhere else.
Yeah,
though,
and on the
correct?
flip side,
they
look
got to
at
go from Dayton somewhere else. though, no?
Yeah.
last year, Oregon got a
Yeah.
bye because of ECU's
Yeah.
COVID thing, and they still looked good. It could be
Yeah.
reversed.
No, yeah. But
Yeah.
I think it's different where it's like a bye and then like playing to stay in a tournament is different.
Fair.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, Arizona still in good shape to be a 1 seed. Colorado probably not an at-large. This next one should be interesting given the things that were said about this team on this podcast. Number 17, Tennessee 67. Number 3, Auburn 62. I tweeted it. They deserve credit. This is a great win. Again, it is at home, and I said, yes, they couldn't win any big ones on the road. A lot of teams can't. It was more so my point was they were non-competitive on the road in some of those games. Look at Kentucky. But yeah, I think Tennessee in Knoxville, they deserve a lot of credit for this.
Did you
one.
see the rebounding edge for this game? 54-31.
That's toughness.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in my life.
I'm having a hard time speaking.
It's tough.
I hate them
I-
so much.
Tennessee at home, like we said, they're still pesky. Rick Barnes never wins anything. Their players charge $300 to
But
come on a podcast.
The
Like,
funniest thing is
they're gonna be
where
a
it's-
tough out. They're another one of these pesky type teams. They're Wisconsin. They're
Are
like
they?
Creighton. They're fucking.
Are
but,
they?
No, but that's what he's saying is what people do think. Where like we obviously know they're a good team. They are a good
They're
whatever.
a top 20 team. Yeah.
Sure, we know this. We're not idiots. We just all don't like them. Sorry, Tennessee fans. Whatever. But
I'm not sorry.
You're an SEC guy, so.
but like
Yeah,
what I'm
I'm not
saying
sorry.
is Tennessee in every fucking sport, even football, like
they
you
think they
always
deserve to
have
be tier 1.
this hype
Yep. Yeah.
around them, and then they show you these levels where whoa, what the fuck, and then they also show you a level like, oh fuck, maybe they are good, and then they get your hopes up, and in the tournament they're gonna lose early.
My point is just kind of what Jake said. Prove it away from Thompson Bowling at some point. Because guess what? After next week, you're not playing there. And that's when the games matter.
Right.
Like, I want to see what happens in the SEC tournament if they end up drawing some combo of Kentucky, Arkansas, Alabama, LSU, Auburn.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see how they fare in those games if they draw like 2 of those teams.
Right. Like, look.
Or
it's-
do they split and the loss is close? Then, hey, you know what? Maybe I wouldn't be surprised if they make the Sweet 16. I still just I don't trust their offense. Their defense is good. Is good.
Their
It's
defense has
elite.
been
Third
really
in the
good.
country.
Yeah.
It's
The defense
definitely
has been
elite.
really
Like
good.
as much as I hate to say it, their defense is good. I just don't trust their offense. Like, yeah, Kennedy Chandler's a really good freshman, like 5-star, but like Rick Barnes still is trying to figure out exactly what to do with his rotations. He's starting to get there a little bit, but they're taking advantage of the games at home. I mean, like they should, but it's why I just think of the same thing with Tennessee. They are a top 20 team.
They get
That's kind
they're
of it.
lined up. They're lined up right now to get Bama in the SEC quarters.
That'd be an interesting game.
Couldn't be
I would
more
like to see that on a
opposite
neutral court.
Yeah, it's that game's gonna be a shit show.
Like I don't if the over hits, Alabama wins. If the under hits, Tennessee
Right,
wins.
fact.
Right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
now the point I want to talk about is that do you think Auburn peaked at the wrong time?
That is a little concern.
Yeah, that's
Like,
three
I
losses,
do
3
still
and 3 in
think
their
they're
last
really
6.
Like
good.
it's their there's no doubt they are a fucking really good team, but it's almost like they're coming back to earth where like how they should have been this year.
But also remember what I said last episode. Their away from home is also really weird. Like they had all their losses are away from home, obviously, and then they had like snuck out the wins against Missouri, Georgia's.
Yeah, they had a favorable road schedule.
Yeah,
for the
but like
SEC.
they weren't impressive on the road at all, right? Like there's maybe 1 or 2 games.
Well, they have a
that
home
did
win against
well.
Murray State in December. That's going to carry a load.
I don't know if it's necessarily peaked, Marty, but I
Yeah.
just think it's almost like a regression to the mid. Like they couldn't have won 18, 19 in a row the way they, you know what I mean? Like I think now they're just learning. Like, hey, like not everything's fucking sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah.
There's still
I
the
don't-
makeup
it
there,
kinda
obviously.
could be, like in a weird way when we do say like when Gonzaga goes undefeated all the time, it's like sometimes good to lose, so you know how
Yeah.
to come back from it. And they're like, all right, we have to still work for this shit.
Yeah, I think this Gonzaga loss could be good for them, by the way.
Yeah, I mean,
Not as much pressure.
yeah, I mean,
And we'll find out, right? Like
Yeah.
that'll be a story.
Yeah.
well, their
Win it all
fucking
for
their
sure.
conference tournament.
It's
is
the
such a
weirdest thing.
joke.
They do a triple bye.
No, it's such a
Top
joke.
two
A lot-
seeds.
A lot of places are starting. A lot of lower majors are starting to do that
It's
too.
should.
Because
such a joke.
They should.
What do you
it's
mean
a way
they
to
should?
guarantee them money.
Yeah, they want the
Yeah, it's
best team representing their
Exactly
conference.
why they're a joke. I mean, win one game to
Yeah, but if
how about you fucking do it real like everybody else?
because
smart, though, from a
conferences
money
dictate
standpoint.
it. They want
But
the
seriously
best.
though, why wouldn't you like money? Sure, I know that's what it's coming down to, but it's
That's
like
why it is.
no, I know why it is, but it's like it's a joke of a conference. I'm not even just saying it, that is you have to win one game to go to the championship.
I kind of see both sides of it. Like
I know
get that-
the realness of it. The money is like
Yeah.
that money trumps everything. I don't like they don't give a fuck about the integrity of the game, but I'm just saying you can't be talked about as a real conference when that's a thing.
I mean, sure. Like I would much prefer to see a regular bracket, like
Yeah.
like anywhere else or majority of
the
places.
reason why college basketball is the best is because it gives those fucking just like Georgetown that chance. Like where like
No, I mean I agree with that, but it's and especially now for the WCC, I understand why they did it, especially to protect Gonzaga, especially. But now, like Gonzaga's always going to be in the field. You'll probably have, St. Mary's likely in the field a decent amount, or BYU or something. Set it up so you can try to get 3 to 4 teams.
But like on the flip side, like the
He was
Summit.
about to say on the same token.
No, the flip side. On the flip side, South Dakota State went 18-0 in the Summit League. Why should they have to play in the conference tournament?
That too. One off.
You know what I
and it
mean?
costs you
Like
It's
I
just
see a
opportunity of
little
a
bit. Like
lifetime.
they won the league by 5 fucking games.
no, I understand, but it's also just like why college basketball is the best.
Oh, it definitely is.
They
the-
could still
yeah.
lose in those semifinals or championship games.
I know that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Where it's like you know what you were like were the Braves the best team in baseball on paper? No, but they got the chance to fucking like.
Right.
It's just like not every team's gonna. The best team doesn't always have to make it.
Longwood.
That's why March
Big
is the
South.
best. It's the best and the worst because it's. I say it all the time. It's the best way to determine a champion. It's the worst way to determine who's the best team.
Yeah, it's not very fair,
Right.
but
No,
it's like
it's
fair.
grossly unfair.
so
Like, it's-
unfair.
It's the worst way to determine a champion out of any sport. But
Yes.
it's also the
Oh, I
most
think
fun.
it's the best way to determine a champion.
No, it's most
worst
fun.
way to determine best team.
Yeah.
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 It's the most fun for sure. So Auburn, right
mean,
now, Tennessee.
Jake's gonna have a fucking hard on. Vermont's 6 games up in the America East.
Oh, they clinched. They were the first team to clinch it like
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
First team to ever clinch.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they won the league by 6 games. Like
Yeah, they were
you know,
1 point away
Shout
from
out
being
John
undefeated.
Becker.
Yeah, I get it.
But yeah, Tennessee, they deserve a lot of credit from the weekend. This next one, noon, Big Ten country, Michigan State beats Purdue. They needed this one badly. They were desperate. They looked really bad. We saw them at Iowa. It was a non-competitive game, 68-65. This is huge. It doesn't wipe away the entirety of the February struggles. It goes a long way, though.
No, they needed this.
Desperate.
I'm gonna tell you though that game though, when we watched in person, really put a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
They can't shoot for
Yeah.
shit. But like this is a concern for Purdue to me.
Well, this goes to show you how bad Purdue's defense is.
So bad.
Okay. Michigan State we watched in person, can't shoot. Pretty bad. What did they shoot from 3 against Purdue? 45%. Like Purdue's, I really, there's no other conference champion I want more than Purdue to win the Big Ten and win every game by like 15, where Purdue is just slapping people and people are like, oh, let them get as high as possible, because with this defense, I'm not like, Purdue is the biggest fade to me this year. I want them at a
Honestly,
1. I want them. I also still think Painter's asshole is going to get fucking clenched.
But isn't it
big
after,
time.
isn't it every year where it's like Purdue's the sexiest team always to like
Yes.
in the tournament?
But now
like
I'm
when
ahead
they
of
come
it.
out bracket and shit?
No, you know how this is going to go.
They're gonna make the Final Four.
I'm selling Purdue, and they're going to make the Final Four without a doubt.
Yeah, for sure. Jay
So
Knight
I wonder,
one of the best players ever.
Yeah,
watched.
of course.
Who? Oh, Carson.
That was
No,
Jaden
he said
Ivey
Jay
said.
Knight.
Jay
is gonna
Knight.
Oh, you said
kill
Jay
us.
Knight.
Yeah.
You mentioned Painter's asshole getting like close and puckered in NCAA tournament time. I was talking about this with somebody, and part of the reason their defense is so
Who are
bad
you
is like,
talking to? You always talk. You and Rico always talking to people.
if I got friends.
I don't talk to my friends.
Marty, I work alone. I don't work in the office. I work alone. I talk to my dog if I have
He's
to.
got like puppets.
That's
Yeah.
true. You gotta have a couple of 12 o'clock like calls to your buddies on lunch.
I'm still in I'm still like Cube Life where I'm on G-Chat talking to people.
The good news is we'll all have some free time real soon. So.
Oh, good one, Rico. Yeah, after March Madness, the schedule will lighten up a little bit for the
But,
off
like-
season only.
Yeah, for the off-season only. But, like, their defense is so bad because they keep one of those bigs out there, right? Like, they always have Trevion Williams or Zach Edey out there. Well, when Williams is your small ball big, like, the last possession, all they do is set a ball screen and let Tyson Walker just go against – like, Trevion Williams is going to lose that battle a lot. I wonder if Painter – like, Tony Bennett did it in the title game to beat Texas Tech, where he played the transfer from Alabama at the 5. Like, went true small ball, took out Jack Saul, just went small ball. I wonder if Painter would be willing to do that, knowing like last year they blew the game against North Texas.
I mean, should they go away from Edey?
Braxton Key.
So I don't.
Braxton
think,
Key,
I don't.
sorry.
Should
so-
they go away from
well,
Edey and just go Williams?
No.
No, Edey
I
just
don't-
scored 25 points
Edey's-
yesterday.
I think Edey's better.
I
I
get
think
what he's
Williams is
saying. I just meant more of
Williams
like
is better, but Edey, like, I think there's just such a problem, like annoyance down there. But you also tweeted, I've tweeted before, refs don't know how to call fouls on him.
No idea how to.
They have no idea because he's literally just too big. But I do like your point because, especially in today's game, there's really not many true bigs, and
Big
it's
Ten
like
has them. That's
Big
about
Ten
it.
has them. But like if you
Big
get
Ten and that's
Sheboy.
it.
like if you're getting like even just say like a Hunter Dickinson or like somebody a big that can shoot and kind of is agile, they're fucked because they're just easy. They can't keep up. So I think they have to. I'm not saying like full small ball, but like go small ball a little more. Not
But like they're also big enough. Like they can play everyone between like 6'4" and 6'8".
yeah. And I think what you
Plenty
said though,
good
I don't think
size.
they need to have Edey and Williams on the court at all times.
No, like even just a 5-minute stretch,
Yeah,
right? Like
change it up a little bit.
instead of going 40 minutes with them playing 20 apiece, play them 17 apiece. And
Like
run
try
small ball
and
for 5.
gas the other team and then put fucking big ass Edey in there and don't like now beat them up.
Right. Yeah, I agree, but I'm ready to sell Purdue too because of that
Big
defense.
time.
But I'm so hesitant because of the offense.
They're just
That
so
offense
due to
is
make that
elite,
final
yeah.
week at the Final Four. I don't know. At Wisconsin and home in Indiana to finish.
yeah, but you've seen this recipe, Riggs, with these teams in Ken
I
Pom
know.
for the last 20 years. West Virginia's teams with Pittsnoggle, and those guys could score with anybody. Like there's a million I'm probably forgetting. Like Notre Dame's teams. I love
Notre
Brent.
Dame's the most.
Notre Dame's
yeah.
teams when they get there. I mean, Iowa last year.
But they also went.
Iowa last year was unbelievable. Iowa this year is unbelievable on offense. They can't stop. Like they struggle on defense. Let's put it that way. So like
Right.
long term over 6 games, you're more likely to not get the stops.
No, I agree, but it's just
When
like,
you've
I
been
see
ranked
that
at
offense
100
is
for the
just
year.
So hard.
Yeah, so last thing, I agree with you, Rico, that 105 defense
Right.
to win 6 games relying on that. If you have one bad night where they play a team, an Alabama team that drops 100 in the second round, like that is realistic and a concern. But the offense, again, Iowa didn't prove it correct last year, but they could go to the Final Four or lose early if they flop. But yeah, Michigan State, they were never in danger of missing the tournament. This one goes a long way. Right the ship. They'll probably be in the 7-8 seed range. All right, moving right along. We're actually going to go out of order here. Riggs has some oblos, so we're going to get the Kentucky game in. He, of course, is a Kentucky guy. Number 18, Arkansas. The Must Bus rolling again. Another win at Bud Walton Arena, 75-73 over number 6 Kentucky. Before we get to you, Reegs, we had our live show yesterday. Marty had -2.5 Arkansas and a crazy bank 3 to lose.
So during the live show, Rico was like, oh, like, look at these fucking assholes there. No handshake line, all this. I'm like, oh, so the handshake line's happening. The game's over. So I took my eyes off it. And then all of a sudden, people gasped. I'm like, what? And I see the video. I wanted to cry. That was disgusting how that even
I will not apologize. I have apologized for Kentucky bad beats before. I will not apologize for that.
They've had.
I think Big Cat had 2, so we at least got a push.
2. I had 2, and that was fucking disgusting.
It was between 2 and 2.5, depending when you got it. But like, I saw everybody on Arkansas too. I think everybody that gambles at Barstool gave out an Arkansas -2, 2.5.
Well, that makes sense because it's like Kentucky has been like hot, and it's like white.
Well, we talked about that.
You see Kentucky with a plus sign, you're like, oh fuck, there's something ratty about this.
Well, and like you didn't know if the guards were going to play. Right. You didn't know, like, so Arkansas's good, right? Like
they're not the team that lost to Hofstra.
Do we think they're the 3rd best team in the SEC?
Yeah. I thought
right?
that
like,
for sure.
I mean, they've beaten number 1 and number 2.
Yeah.
We all agree.
Do they deserve to be in tier 1? They beat both of them.
Yeah, both at home.
I don't think it's a question. I actually thought that before this game. I thought it was definitely.
I mean, I would have been willing to listen to the argument of Tennessee.
Oh, people are gonna be so mad if we didn't include them.
I was thinking they were 5.
So not even to
Bama.
Not even to be a homer as far like Bama as up and down as Bama is, and you could say like, oh, they bottomed out and they're still 5th in the SEC.
Yeah, for sure. But
they're 5th in the SEC.
I mean, I think Arkansas, no joke, is a definite 3. I do think Tennessee 4 and Bama 5. Is that what
that sounds right?
Is that like the actual? No, Arkansas is in 2nd, right? They're all 1 game back at Auburn.
Yeah, I think. Technically, now
it's a 3-way tie for 2nd.
Like 4th because of the tiebreakers.
Yeah. Thank God Auburn. thank God Kentucky. They all lost because now Auburn just has 2 shitbag teams. Hopefully, and I win my plus 700.
Bama still has a big game against LSU last day.
But they can't get any higher. They're locked in at the 5 if they went out.
I will say this. You know what sucks? This is me complaining about the SEC. Arkansas joined in '92. Them and Kentucky have played home and home once the entire time.
Arkansas and Kentucky?
Yeah.
How's that possible?
Because it was always East-West, right? So you'd always, like, that East always round, or like you'd play home and home against the East and then split the West. And then when expansion happened, it's different every year. And they've played fucking home and home. It's the dumbest thing.
I think they got to figure out a way. I know there's a lot of teams, but like, figure out a way to play everybody once or everybody twice. I know it's definitely not possible.
They need to do, I think it's the AAC, or at least they did it, where they keep the last 4 weeks of the season open.
No, not the AAC. It's the Sun Belt, or not the Sun Belt. The Conference USA does.
Conference USA, yes. So they keep the last 2. Do they still do it this year?
Yes.
They keep the last.
I think so.
2 or 3 weeks of the season open dates. And then if you're a top 4 team, the top 4 teams just play each other for regular season games.
So it helps like your quality of wins. Yeah. You don't take a bad loss.
So like this year, like Vanderbilt, Ole Miss, Georgia, and Missouri. Sorry, Jake. They would just be playing each other in a round robin and the last 2 weeks of the regular season. Alabama.
Bottom 4. You said the top 4.
Yeah, no, I'm saying they cluster it together.
They group it.
So Arkansas would only play Kentucky, Auburn, Alabama. Those would be their 3 open dates. You don't seem like you follow.
I do. It's just crazy to me that like they didn't have their schedule set in stone.
Well, so Conference USA did it because this way they could try to get 2 teams in the NCAA tournament. So like Western Kentucky, let's say they are, runaway top 25 team.
But then North Texas.
Marshall or North Texas, they're on the bubble. Well, guess what? They avoid a bad loss. They can get quality wins.
Yeah, you can't have any bad losses if you're only playing against good teams.
Yeah,
so
true. Yeah, it's crazy.
I think a lot of conferences should adopt that.
With this game, though, I think we're in the same thing. I think that I'm not worried about Kentucky, but they're
not fully healthy.
Arkansas is like there for real. I think it is, like we said, they finally got their rotation right. They're ready to go.
So fucking
No
30
taste is
points.
disgusting.
I still think Jalen Williams has been the X factor all year. Like
Because
the way he
I-
Yeah, for sure. But
just a
no
high
takes.
energy
So-
guy.
Well, Note's
gets
their
stops.
guy, but like I
Without
think
a doubt.
X Factor, sure. But the thing is with Kentucky, like we can keep saying we're not worried. We're getting close to this time where like I know like they should be back for conference tournament, right?
I mean,
They're
Washington
playing
and
this game.
they both played
I know,
30
but,
plus
like,
minutes
Yeah,
yesterday.
100%.
I know, but it's still like not. You know what?
Right,
I
you
mean.
can tell that they're rust, which is why I'm glad that they came back because
Yeah.
now they get Ole Miss on Tuesday, Florida on Saturday, and they can get back to like game feel and because you can tell like Ty, it took him probably 25 minutes to start looking somewhat like he used to.
Yeah.
How many years has Calipari not made the SEC championship game? Like it's
Probably
he's almost there every year. That's my point.
No,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like they're gonna
probably like 4 ahead.
Yeah.
They're obviously the 2 years. Obviously last year, the NIT year.
They
I
did
know
it in
lost to Tennessee
2019.
one
They
year,
lost
yeah,
to Tennessee. Yeah,
in the semis.
2018.
Probably
they
every
won it.
year other than that.
I'm just
mostly.
saying, yeah, no, I mean it's almost a certainty he's gonna run through, which means another impressive win against Tennessee or LSU.
Yeah, they'll
you know
get
what I
one of
mean? Like
those.
so yeah, I got
Well,
it. I just I mean
If
it's
they're the 4, they'll get Auburn. We could see Kentucky Auburn in the semis.
That could be for a 1 seed.
Good, which is crazy though, as a conference semi game.
Right.
well I've
The
said
way
it,
the resume is
SEC's
shaping.
loaded. So
I know.
I mean,
So yeah, I mean, I agree. Like it sucked. Like, I'm not surprised Kentucky lost that game. Like we talked about it last episode. They felt like they were going to take a loss to one of these Arkansas, LSU, Alabama stretch. They get to 2 at home, and you lose at Arkansas. I'm more impressed that this team doesn't roll over and die. Like I thought, like Arkansas was ready to blow them
yeah,
out
it got
the
ugly.
doors
Yeah.
the first half,
Yeah.
and then Kentucky has the lead with a minute and a half to go.
I mean they did the same thing against Alabama too. Alabama had them on the ropes.
I'm done being nice though. You fucking lost. You guys suck. Like that's just fuck this. Like
Get the loss out now before March. That's all that matters.
Yeah, listen, Arkansas lost 5 out of 6 in mid-December to early January. Since then, 1-point loss at Alabama.
this is a legit reason why. Like I love making everything about Gonzaga too, but like the reason why those Gonzaga wins in November don't mean shit because Arkansas was awful. And then they figured it out because they have transfers. They have their rotation. They finally got it down. Everyone knows their role. And now they're going to be a fucking top 15 team. So it's like, it's crazy how that can all happen.
It would be awesome if Gonzaga could switch and play their conference schedule like to start the season and then non-conference afterwards. So it's
Yeah.
like they're playing like Alabama now,
Well,
Duke now. I think that'd be awesome.
Rico's been saying that forever, how they should keep an open weekend. It's just getting the other team to stop their conference schedule.
Yeah, I think the week before the Super Bowl, where there's the layoff, obviously like Pro Bowl week, have a bunch of good non-conference games. Then
But we do
they gotta
the
angle
Big
it.
12, Big 12,
Big
SEC.
SEC,
Last weekend of
where it's
January,
like
yeah.
just have a Gonzaga.
I love it.
once. I know they got to get a little bit more.
Just
of
like-
those.
But they
Just do
can't
like
do a
Gonzaga,
WCC
Houston.
one.
Well,
Just do like Gonzaga, Houston.
that Big 12 SEC challenge is probably going to be done once Oklahoma and Texas leave. So
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
that changes
Right.
things and gives an open weekend where we can have an open non-conference day. I don't know. But yeah, Kentucky, I agree, Riggs. It's not – I still think they can win it all if they're fully healthy, but that's a big if. They haven't been like that in a few weeks. and it's
Yeah, like
dangerous.
I'm glad the guards are back. Now it's just getting them back to like actual gameplay and looking like they did before they got hurt. I don't know. I'm still like, this game's under protest. I put it on Twitter. People are yelling at me. There was a clear shot picture of a guy mooning Oscar Tshiebwe during a free throw. That's a federal crime. You're not allowed to take your ass out. You know, there are kids there. It should be charged as such. They don't let the storm chasers in. The moment that happens,
That
is when
was
Kentucky's
ridiculous.
run happens, which
Yeah.
made it even better.
Yeah.
So yeah, the
Mooning
game's under
should be
protest,
back.
and
Mooning
then
was-
Doug Shows had a bad.
Oh, the mooning?
Bad call.
Mooning's funny.
Yeah, they're stopping
It is
Ramon and
until it
Caleb. And
affects your team.
the guys mooning? Like,
Yeah, I don't understand the stopping them. It's like what they're just doing nothing wrong.
I
They're
know.
just at the game.
Right.
yeah. But anyways,
You're riling the crowd up.
Riggs,
Yeah.
we know you got to run, but yeah, I mean, Kentucky, you're not taking too much from this one until they're fully healthy.
No, I mean, like I said, it's like we said with the Gonzaga, like a 2-point loss, whatever. If you don't want to count that 3, like a 2-possession loss late on the road against a good team, like
Yeah.
the punishment's what? They went from probably 5 to 6, right? Like that's
Something like they might
most
flip flop
likely-
with Duke, and you'll have to hear it from Marty for a few days.
Yeah, for sure.
I think I will end that I think Duke should stay 7th because they play, little league coach teams.
I mean, that's so Gonzaga should be fucking 64th.
I think Gonzaga should be one spot ahead of Duke for eternity.
All right. Thanks, Reeks. We'll see you again soon.
Talk to you guys.
All right. Moving on here. We have one more ranked versus ranked game before we get to our interview with Wisconsin's Brad Davison. In the Big 12, number 10 Baylor takes down Kansas. I mean, they were getting blown out in the beginning of this game. They ended up winning 80-70, but it got ugly early, and I thought Kansas was going to run away with it. They were up by 13 late in the first half, but Baylor with no Jonathan Tchamwa, you wouldn't know. They lost the big man in this one.
The only words I have is confused.
Yeah?
I mean, Baylor, obviously, they showed, like, Kansas was kind of coming away with, like, oh, fucking Kansas might be, like, put your tickets on Kansas national championship. You know
Think
what
I
mean?
cursed it? Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
no.
what I was saying. Like, they were under – you agree that they were kind of flying under the
Yes.
radar. This actually might help my case a little bit.
Because
This ain't a bad loss.
Baylor.
It's a little – it makes sense, but it's a little concerning. It would have been nice if they picked up another elite win, feather in the cap.
Yeah. No, but they have been kind of like, it's weird to say because the Big 12 is like top to bottom, like one of the best, is the best conference. But like they've been just kind of doing their thing. And it was just weird that now like I have this theory of like this picture of Baylor that's like, they're kind of done because they're hurt. But I don't know. It's an impressive win for Baylor. Again, I don't put up much on Kansas, but this is why, dude, like this year is actually one of my favorite years in a long time of like, we have no idea. There's so many teams that could win a national championship.
Without a doubt. There's so many teams that can lose. Nobody's immortal. A lot of teams can go out in the first round. You can almost make a case, all of them, like we said, Purdue. I mean, Kansas is great, but Kansas has been known to throw a clunker every once, like self. People can get self, you know. You got a lot of freshmen on Duke. I know they're probably, push comes to shove, they're probably going to win a game, but you could see a freshman like kind of shitting his pants down the line. Like nobody's safe, really. Nobody's safe. Remy Martin's first game back in a month.
He got a flop warning at the end. Looking at that.
Maybe he's the problem.
He didn't do enough in this game to be.
I think if he can suck it up. I mean, we talked about it last year. Like he was the guy at Arizona State, and he clearly wasn't the guy who could carry the load because he's just a fucking black hole. He would just fire away. If he sees it where like, hey, get your act together, you might be able to win a national championship. He's definitely a great X factor to have. Six guys set like off the bench. He could still go. You know what I mean? Couldn't you see him in a Sweet 16 game turn into the Remy Martin show? I get it. There's a risk reward there, and whether he's healthy or he just still thinks he's the guy, and it's a mental type thing.
But it all depends if he's not meshing with this team, which it's like he hasn't at all, and it's March. So does that fuck up the team's rhythm? Like that's I know I'm not saying he's a for sure problem, but when's the last game he played?
Kentucky. In that game they lost by 80.
And then they won every game since.
Yeah.
So it's like it's.
Well, they lost to Tech. Did they lose to Texas? They lost to Texas afterwards.
Or like one game.
Yeah,
like,
right.
It's definitely something to just like. But does he put him out of rhythm? I don't know. But it could be also good if he comes around to actually being Remy Martin.
Also with Baylor, no JTT. They also didn't have LJ Cryer in this game, so they played 7 guys who all played at least 20 minutes. But
Matthew Myers nails, by the way.
Yeah,
nails.
This goes back to Marty what you were saying. Similar box score structure to Villanova. So by that theory, are you saying Baylor can't win it all?
Well, they're just hurt. That's not their fault.
I know, but I'm just saying.
But to his point, they're 60, 70.
60. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think they can. I don't. But I can't. I could be proven wrong. I guess. I have to tip my cap to this one. It's a great win against Kansas, especially winning by 10.
Yeah. So congrats to Baylor. Some people thought they'd just be done because they lost JTT, but the defending champs, hard to win it all twice. This team can do it. I don't think we'd be totally shocked by that. All right, let's get to our interview with Wisconsin's Brad Davison. But before we do that, it's Dude Wipes. Dudes, we need to have a serious chat about your bathroom habits. It is time to quit shitty, scratchy toilet paper and switch to Dude Wipes. Dude Wipes are extra large flushable wipes made with plant source fibers designed to give your butt a cleaner, more refreshing finish than TP after dropping a deuce. Dude Wipes.
Let me tell you something. I always used to make fun of people that like wore like you that would do this and like travel with it.
Yeah, I travel with wipes.
I know. You travel with Dude Wipes.
Dude Wipes.
And Glenny does as well. Like, he live by it. Eddie loves it. Like, I made fun of it for a long time.
Changes a lot.
They're fantastic. They really are. They changes. Like, there is some bad toilet paper out there. And you always know, no matter where you are, if you bring your Dude Wipes, you're good.
The body wipes are a big one, too, like after golf.
Yeah.
Dude,
like,
the energy,
good.
there's energy wipes, too,
Yeah.
for golf. Like, when you're sweating your ass off and it just gets you a little going, they're awesome.
Yeah, if we travel for March Madness, I will be traveling with Dude Wipes.
Yeah, I know you will.
And when I step off the stream for a little bit, I'm going to sneak them in my pocket and take care of business.
Summer's coming up. The clubs, couple little wipes.
Yeah.
Want to be a gentleman? I know they're dude wipes, but girls dancing a little bit. Wipe, a little on the forehead.
Yeah, 100%.
We'll get a high noon. Cross all the boxes.
Yeah, Dude Wipes will change your life. Your butt will thank you, and you'll never look at an empty toilet paper roll the same way again. They also have other great personal care products like Dude Powder and Dude Shower Body Wipes. Perfect for other sticky situations, as Rico was mentioning. You can find everything at Amazon or Dude Wipes at Walmart and Target nationwide. So go to dudewipes.com and use code MOB20 for 20% off your entire order. That's MOB20 for 20% off your entire order. All right, here he is, Brad Davison of Wisconsin. All right, we want to welcome on a very special guest, long time no see for Wisconsin senior guard Brad Davison, the number 13 Badgers, currently 23-5, should move up in the rankings after a big road win at Rutgers. Speaking of that game,
very quickly, can we just have him? He hasn't said a word yet. Can we just have him as a guest, and then if he does okay, he's a special guest.
All right, we'll see.
No, please change the logs right now.
He's just a guest
He's just a guest.
In Rico's mind, he's a guest. I'll say very special guest. It's Brad Davison. So Brad, the big road win at Rutgers. We were courtside right next to you guys. My fellow co-hosts were not so nice, and he had a word with someone you're with right now, didn't they?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I'm very thankful to just be a guest on this podcast and have the opportunity to chat with you guys. So, Rico, appreciate you having me. But yeah, the win was great, but I think the trash talk afterwards from this guy probably
student manager,
the best part of the night.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing you didn't do is hand the business card. You're like every fucking Twitter egg out there, buddy. Like, I've seen it all before. Send your resume to Camarco, buddy. I've seen it all.
Hey, you were talking that trash, and I just had to back my guys up. Sorry about it.
We keep our guys close around here.
Speaking of the trash, did you see the video of Rico talking to your coach, Greg Gard?
Yeah, second weekend, golf. Come on now.
See, you did the same thing that he did to you.
What do you mean?
What the manager did to you, you did to Greg Gard.
Yeah, but I'm not I'm not mad at the kid. This is college sports. He came at me. I came at God. It's fair as fair.
It's all love. That's the beauty of college sports.
Absolutely.
But Coach Gard did come up to you guys, and he had no idea who you guys were.
She's like, "Fuck."
Oh yeah, that's probably him walking into a landmine.
Yeah. He did think it was funny though. He thought it was funny.
All right, there you go.
There you go.
Some people say,
hopefully he's not golfing anytime in March. Though.
I mean, the way you guys played fucking yesterday.
Yeah. All right. So let's start with the big picture right now. So I'll be the first one to admit I did not have you guys as an NCAA tournament team in the preseason. Big Cat got on me for that. But it only took a few games for me to admit I was wrong. So the jump that you guys took in season to what everyone was expecting you guys to do in the off season, what do you think the biggest reason for that is?
I think it goes back to the summer. Obviously we lost a lot of guys that played a lot of minutes last year, but we also have a lot of talent, and we brought in a lot of young guys that, maybe didn't get the opportunity to play in games, but, put a lot of time in the weight room and during practice. So when we got here in the summer, we knew we had some really great pieces and some good talent. We didn't necessarily know what that puzzle would look like, but now, the country and the nation is starting to kind of see the talent that we got and the guys that we got.
All right, so I want to do a little. Let me tell you, I've talked a lot of shit about you. Of course, I have.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, that just means you're you're someone. Exactly. I get shit talked about all the time. So I want to do.
This is going the way I didn't want it to expect. He's being likable, like Brad,
I know.
Brad Calipari.
I wish he was a fucking asshole. So I'm still in my mind. Brad Davison's always gonna be an asshole, even though I'm gonna talk to him. He's nice, I could tell. But I'm gonna do.
It's gonna suck because we're gonna say I hate that guy, but he's a nice guy. It's gonna suck.
Let's do a. Me and Rico want to do a little bad cop, good cop. All right.
Right.
So first, I'll be bad cop. You guys had the brawl kind of thing. Whatever happened at Michigan, you said what were you? What do you say?
Let's sing.
Let's
go
sing. You're like fucking Troy
It's a
Bolton.
tough look,
I thought you
dude.
were about to be a fucking Troy Bolton High School Musical. Let's sing, guys. What the fuck was that?
This is after he did a fake hold me back thing. Like we caught the video. So I'm the good cop.
Well,
I'm the good cop.
I think the thing with the brawl is, again, not good. Not good play sport in sport. We can all agree on that. But like top 3 most memorable moments of my college career, I'd say.
Oh yeah.
Being up on the floor. But it's kind of uncharted waters because what are you supposed to do? Because you don't want to start throwing punches or get in the fight because then you're going to get suspended. But also you don't want to be that guy that you guys talk about in the video that just runs the other side of the court. So you kind of got to play both sides. So when you say the fake, that's pretty much what happened. Was just all right, what's going to happen here? This is all uncharted waters.
But the singing.
The singing. All right, now we'll get to the singing. So tradition at UW is we sing like our school song. It's called Varsity. So after wins, we'd line up underneath the basket in front of the away team's bench, and we'd sing it with our student section, and then we'd run around the court and shake high fives and have a lot of cool moments with the fans that come to watch us play.
Break into a little dance number. Sounds great.
No dancing. But what was happening is the security guards were trying to kick our team off of our court instead of, having Michigan go to their locker room. So I was saying, no, they can get off the court and we can sing. We can do our normal program. And then selfishly, I only got a couple games left in that Kohl Center, so having those moments and interactions with the fans, I really value and cherish those. So that's the story behind that.
Of course, the name's fucking Varsity.
Yeah, we've been tagged at the JV podcast here at Barstool, so that's only fitting.
Actually didn't connect to that.
Yeah, of course.
All right, I'll be the good cop. You're in your 7th year of college, like 8th year. So obviously you've been around.
Not nice.
What? Well, COVID. I'm not.
Yeah.
What has? Was there like a natural? I asked this to a lot of seniors. Was there a natural conversation with guards saying like, "Hey, you're a leader," or it's just because you've been around? Like, we need you to step up. Like, do you have additional responsibilities, or I guess what does it mean for you to be like a good leader? Because you're an upperclassman. You're taking control of the team. You see you in the huddle and shit like that. Like, you're almost like a de facto coach. Like, what was that conversation like preseason?
Yeah, I think leadership is something that kind of comes naturally, with the opportunities that you have and the way you carry yourself and the opportunities to lead by example. So I think that starts right when you get on campus, freshman, sophomore year. But for me, like you said, that was about 8-9 years ago. So it was a little different conversation this year coming back from my super senior year. It was really just I wanted to take advantage of every opportunity I had and really start to, develop strong relationships with these younger guys because even though I'm experiencing something for the 4th or 5th time, this is kind of their first time experiencing it. So taking more of like a coach's or a mentorship role other than just a teammate leader role was kind of the conversation coming into this year.
All right. Now the bad cop. You were talking during free throws when the other team was shooting. That's bad sportsmanship. And Courtney Green and Bo and Don Daly didn't enforce it. You can agree that's bad sportsmanship.
They also yelled.
You were talking right on the release point.
Wait, so Rico, was there anyone else talking during free throws when we shot?
You know what? I was just gonna bring that up. Mulcahy was talking during it, and he actually got yelled at though. He got yelled at.
Is that
Wait,
you?
so you guys were sitting courtside. So what was I saying during the free throws?
You were just doing a little bit of you were just trying to be a busybody yammering to affect the shot. It was so you're like box out, this, like hustle, sing varsity. Like you were doing just nonsense. It wasn't even I listened. It wasn't even points. It was just general like bullshit to affect the guy when he shoots. It's bad sportsmanship. As a 31-year-old senior,
is the goal playing basketball? The goal is to win the game, right?
Yeah.
So you got to do everything you can to help your team be successful. So I got to make sure that, Johnny knows he's pinching, that I got shooter, Steven's boxing out by himself. And if it's not my fault if that distracts the shooter, is it?
That's a good point.
Go to yours.
He's getting you guys right now.
I do want to ask you. I mean, you are an annoyance on the court. Like, you know what you're doing. But not an annoyance because, I mean, I'm the only athlete on this podcast, so I know what you mean.
I beat you in the 3-point contest.
I was a professional baseball player, so let's just leave it at that. I when you hit a three, you know how to quiet down the car. The salute. Like, I'll be like that. Also, I feel like, doesn't that fuel you? Like, especially when everyone's saying "fuck you, Brad," "fuck Brad," this, all that. It's like that just makes you want to kind of go more. No.
Absolutely. I think when I was younger, it had a little bit more of an effect on me because I really cared what other people thought about me. I cared about my reputation. I think as I've gotten older, and I guess I'd say personally, as I have matured, I've realized that, my responsibility is towards my teammates and my coaches and my family and my friends. So I try to do everything I can to lead my team and to help my team be successful. Whether it's celebrating a three or talking a lot on the court or whatever it may be, I'm just trying to get my team going. So I'm always thinking about my team. That's where my intentions lie.
You get a lot of shit. That student section was fucking nuts yesterday. I was yelling too, but
we were yelling. We definitely didn't say any bad words. I want that.
You called him a crybaby.
Yeah.
That's not a bad word. I mean, they were saying some bad stuff behind us. Some girls with some potty mouths at Rutgers. I'll say that.
Of Jersey, no way.
I've heard much worse than at the rack.
Where's the worst place you think?
The rack actually treated me pretty well in comparison to other places, I'd say.
What do you think the worst place has been?
At Assembly Hall, the Hoosiers really did not like me. And my fiance is actually the all-time leading scorer from Indiana on the women's side. And so she was in attendance, and she was wearing a Wisconsin Badgers sweatshirt. And so just the combination of all of that, they really, really enjoyed having us there.
He's definitely a bandit. What are you doing for your wedding? Band or a DJ?
DJ. We're all just gonna circle around and sing varsity at the wedding.
I'm trying to get ammo on him. He's answering every question correctly.
He's a big DJ guy. He's a big
Rico
DJ
wanted
guy.
to hate. Both of them wanted to hate you so badly in this.
He's still.
Oh no, I'm
still not a special guest. I'm
gonna tell you, I'm going to tweet, and I'm gonna say your last name's Davidson at all time, and I'm gonna tweet bad things about him. Not bad. It's like, fuck this guy. Because also, when the fuck did you start shooting a three like this? Yesterday was insane. I'm like, this motherfucker won't stop.
Well, I have hit the most threes in a career in Wisconsin, so it's not like it's
you've been there a long time.
Most people play 5 years,
but I do feel like this year you've also been like, it's one of your best career shooting years. No,
I think he's actually down percentage.
Oh, you are. I just think I didn't look at no stats when I do this shit. I just been like, I feel like I've noticed it this year where it's like, holy shit. Like, I mean,
well, you can put it this way. He's definitely hitting more timely threes, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or it seems like the ones you're hitting hurt more. That's not a knock.
Rico,
I'm serious.
I appreciate your support. I really appreciate your support.
I mean, you hit a few yesterday with fucking daggers.
No, I'd say I think every year you have a different role. And so over the last couple of years, my role has been more of the defensive glue guy. And this year with the lineups that we have and the other players that we have, I have much more of a scoring, shooting role, space the floor. When you got, guys like Johnny and Chucky and their ability to attack and play make, and then Steven and Tyler inside, you really just try to play your role to the best of ability. So for me, the space the floor and knock down shots has been something that, teams needed this year.
What do you make of this stat? Because I've kind of been hanging my hat on this. So in the last 20 years, 3 teams have made the Final Four where a player accounts for 28% or more of the team points. I'm sorry, 27%. Johnny Davis accounts for 28% of your points. You kind of think you rely on him a little too much? I know you hitting a fucking timely three obviously helps out, but do you worry a little bit if you shut down Davis? You guys are in some trouble as far as Final Four national championship
And
type?
just to piggyback off this is us saying we don't like. What was your quote? Wisconsin sucks without Johnny Davis, which just is like, their best player.
Well, yeah, we said that off the cuff. But then I went and looked at the stats, and it does back it up. So there is a little merit to that.
Well, I think it's a testament to how good Johnny is, right? Like I'm biased, but he's the National Player of the Year. He's the Big Ten Player of the Year. And so if you took the other 5 National Player of the Year runners and took them off their team, those teams probably wouldn't be quite as good. But that's a testament, to the talent that they have. I think that's one thing that's been really special about our team over the last 10 games or so on the road and at home is, maybe when he doesn't have his best stuff or his shot isn't falling, we've had other guys step up, whether it's Chucky, Steven, Tyler, even bench guys off the bench. His brother at Minnesota scored 7 off the bench. But also, this time of year, it's not always about scoring too. So we have a lot of guys that come in and do the little things that maybe analytics don't cover to help your team win and be successful. But to fix your analytics of that 27%, maybe we should have Johnny just not score the next 2 games. So going into the NCAA tournament, he doesn't account for 27%. Would that be good?
Stats.
He is bodying.
Whose fucking side are you on?
I mean, hey, that was funny. You're like going around your questions. I'm telling him straight to his face, I'm going to say fuck you to him. I don't think Wisconsin is that good. I think yesterday it showed it. I'm going to tell him that, but I'm going to respect him. That was funny.
I think
He's bodying you.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of I think you're having a nice season. I really don't buy you as a Final Four team. I know you're overachieving, but that's kind of where we're at. So that's the beauty of sports. You get to decide it on the lines.
And Big Cat has given us shit.
Yeah, it's been a never-ending quest.
Non-stop for you. So you got a big fan behind you.
Big Cat's a good guy to have in your corner. We appreciate him.
Yeah.
100%. What makes Johnny different than any other teammate you've had?
Just his mindset, like his relentlessness and his competitiveness. He goes out there. He doesn't go out there trying to score or trying to get shots. He goes out there trying to win at all costs. And he doesn't get deterred. He's trying to go downhill, and he just wants to dominate, whether it's on offense or defense or rebounding. He's always in attack mode. There's no off switch. So I think just his mindset is what sets him apart.
He like yesterday, like at one point he just went, "What the fuck, bro?" Like,
yeah, he's
just
creating
getting
shots
whacked.
out of nowhere.
He said like he was getting whacked every time he was going up to the. I think it's just because he's such a good player. A lot of like the refs don't like call everything on him right away, and he was like, "Jesus Christ, get these guys off me."
I just got one more. Does Krobanoff want to kill me?
Your assistant coach Joe Krabbenhoff, is that the correct pronunciation?
Who cares?
Joe Krabbenhoff. Yeah.
Krabbenhoff. He was giving Rico death stares unlike anything I have ever seen yesterday.
Well, he was working the refs, which you did all day yesterday. I'll be honest.
I did.
Yeah, you and Bo. I thought you guys were going out to dinner.
Yeah, he puts her arm around them. He's like,
every
hey,
time,
Bo.
and Bo's like, good shot, Brad. Fucking joke. The ref crew was only talking to you guys. I don't know what kind of spell you had on him. They were only talking to you. Pikel's down there like looking for any explanation. They wouldn't give it to him. But either way, Krabbenhoff is working the ref, and I'm like, hey, don't take that, Don. Talk to the head coach. He looked back, and what is he like, 6'6", 6'5"? He was gonna.
He's a little taller than that.
All right, yeah.
6'7", 6'8".
All right, yeah. He gave a death stare with that big fucking farm boy look, and I was like, this is fucking. I thought he was coming after the game. So.
Oh, I don't think there's no disrespect there at all. He's a competitor. He's fiery. We're lucky to have him. He's on our side. We'll go to war with him anytime. No hard feelings there at all. He probably doesn't even remember it.
Did you guys have to tell guard like who we were? Because obviously you went in the locker room and like danced on our graves. But like between that, the refs, you, like, did you guys just have like a big laugh? Did you have to tell guard who we were after the game?
No, well, when we started seeing everything on social media with Griffin, our manager, and then with Coach Guard's interaction, we started asking him about it. And he's just like, he just thought he was having a conversation with some fans on the side of the court.
So much more funny. It's way more funny that he had no idea, and this fucking asshole's telling him he's got a tea time second. I have 2 more. Do you have any?
I got one more. You go ahead.
One. So how do you deal with like the public perception of you though? Because like obviously everyone's like, oh, Brad Davison, the dirtiest player in college basketball, and I think honestly, I think that you just do things that like everyone does. It's just like you'll just get an edge any way you can. You know what I mean? Like you just play hard. I don't think that you're the dirtiest player, but that narrative is around you. Yeah,
I'd say the way I deal with it again is the I know where my identity lies. This is probably a little deeper answer for you guys, but my identity lies in what my family thinks about me, what my teammates, my coaches, and ultimately what, as a man of faith, what the Lord says about me. And so I'm not out there playing for opinions of other people or for other fan bases or what people write or on social media. I know where my intentions lie, and I stand firm with that. I go out there and play as hard as I can and try to help my team be successful in any way possible. And try to lead my team and be the best teammate. So the way that I handle it is
I knew he was going to play the good book thing right away when he said
but,
it.
But real talk, the way I handle it is I don't really read it. I don't look at it, and I don't listen to it. And it's as real as you make it. So, to any articles or tweets that are about me, they're only real and they only have value if you let them have them.
Maybe that's why I struggle.
Yeah, you needed help.
Rico, if anyone says anything bad, he immediately blocks the person that said it.
Didn't you block Badger Barstool?
Oh,
No,
he said "fuck you" to Badger Barstool. He also
He
has
used my government name right after I got suspended.
which
Like, he knew what he was doing.
everyone knows his name. Also,
He knew what I
Brad,
was
he
doing.
has over 10,000 people blocked. That
His jaw just dropped.
is Brad blocked?
No, we needed him on the pod.
Oh my God. I got one more, Brad.
That's incredible.
So we mentioned Big Cat earlier. He said, of course, a Wisconsin grad. He wants to one day maybe become a Wisconsin booster. What's one thing, if Big Cat were to become a booster, that the team could use maybe in the locker room, maybe on road trips, in the crowd? What comes to mind?
Well, I think, first of all, he should probably make it to the game Tuesday. I know he's dragging his feet about not coming to the game. And apparently I'm a jerk for tweeting that, yada, yada, yada. There's going to be a lot of boosters at the game. So if he wants to be a booster, he should probably get there. I think that makes sense. What is one thing that we could use? Honestly, we don't need much around here. It's a pretty great place to be.
Maybe a national title banner.
A national title would be good. You would just hate that, wouldn't you, Rico?
Oh,
Well, you're saying you don't need much. I mean, that's one evident flaw.
I'll
but
let you
go
know
ahead.
if you guys win the national championship, we probably won't have a podcast anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rico, you guys didn't even have us in the tournament, right?
No,
what I
that's
was
Jake's.
told.
Jake does the. Jake
That was
does it.
me, but I was
Okay.
realistic. And once you guys started winning games,
Well,
I'm like,
also-
yeah, you guys are good.
How about the kid yesterday who comes up to us at the bar? Do you know what Wisconsin's record is at home in the last 100 years or something? It's like 260.
Do I know?
Yeah, it's like two. What is it? No, not two. It's something ridiculous. It's like
Something like-
830 or something like that.
No, it's like 260.
It's 260 and 30. It's something insane.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
There we go.
It's insane.
Yeah.
I think Big Cat would bring some good snacks, though. Like I feel like he would have definitely some coffee as well.
Yeah, I was going to say we could use a new coffee machine.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'd be all over that.
All right, so I think I want to end the podcast so me and Rico have had our fair share of saying "fuck you." I would like you to say something mean about us.
Yeah, we got. It's fair as
It's
fair.
fair.
Fair is fair.
See,
He's
He's not gonna do it. He's gonna be like,
I don't really
Let's
have
all
anything
fucking
mean.
win.
Honestly,
go to mass,
I-
figure out problems.
I personally, I think college sports, something we have in common is I think college sports is by far and above, especially college basketball, is the best sport league. And I'm biased to the Big Ten, best conference out there. And so I personally just love listening to your guys' takes because everyone makes sports seem so serious and like sports the end all be all, which we all take it seriously. We all get fired up and block people when we get mad. But then at the end of the day, it's just a sport too. So I find a lot of humor in some of your guys' takes and the things you say. And all my high school friends, they love this podcast and my teammates. So honestly, I appreciate you guys and the humor that you bring to the game. Outside of leaving us out of the tournament, that's tough. But I guess that's more on Jake. But
Yeah,
other
that's
than
my
that,
fault.
Yeah.
We're all good. And then the one thing, Rico, like whenever you want to like swallow the pill and become a Badger fan, life's pretty good. So whenever you want, you're welcome over here.
I can be bought.
He's the biggest Bible
If you
dude.
get-
Rutgers gave us a bag of shit. I can be bought.
Wait until next podcast, dude. He'll be like, Wisconsin, man. I've always said it. They're going to be a championship team. That Brad
There you go,
Davison
there
guy
you
going to be great.
I mean, listen, I do like what you said. I think to Marty's point, too, like, how do you deal with that? Like, college needs villains. And for whatever reason, it does seem like we're going away from the 4-year guys, with the one-and-dones, but people gravitate towards those villains. Greg Paulus, Hansborough, even Buddy, I guess, now, but nobody really, like,
Grayson Allen was
Grayson Allen, you need these villains in the sport. It's what keeps it going. Otherwise, nobody would care about it. So, like everyone has a role. It's a theater. Everybody's got to play the bad guy sometimes. So I think that's what makes it great, truthfully.
Yeah.
That was beautiful
Absolutely.
speech.
Makes it
Beautiful
enjoyable.
speech.
Absolutely. Well,
And
that
like saying you guys suck is fun to enjoy, like banter with someone else of like why you don't suck, and then all of a sudden you keep winning, and then I'm sitting here telling you suck when you're ranked like 8th probably next week.
that's totally
So
fair.
that's why it's the best. But no, seriously, Brad, thank you for coming on. That was thanks for being a good sport about it. It was fun as fuck.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys. Maybe we'll see you in the tournament sometime when you
I
guys
think-
are coming around to games.
I think right now, we just have to really hammer Big Cat to take us to Wisconsin on Tuesday and go to the game.
I know some people that could probably hook you up with good tickets. I don't know if they're as good as the Rutgers seats you had there, but you never know.
Well, that's fair. Rico,
What
is
a
he?
flip if we show up in fucking Badger.
It's going nuts.
Well, then we'd have no
Hey, we
fucking
got
credibility.
Badger gear, we got towels, it's a whiteout. We can get you decked out.
There you go, Rico.
God would shit his pants. We let this fucking guy here?
Rico, is he a very special guest?
Yeah, he had a good appearance. I didn't want it to be. He's a very special guy.
All right. Well, yeah.
Yeah, we don't hate you, but this is
No,
like
I
we
do.
said. It's all right.
I do. As a person, I like him.
If he
but
gets our
I don't-
podcast canceled, I will hate him. But
yeah,
I don't hate you as a person. I hate you as a player.
I can't
We're-
wait to
you're
talk
very
about it.
It's easy to root against. So that's where we're at.
Well, if you root for the Badgers, you can root for me, then you're good.
The real icing on the cake is if they play Alabama in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, Rico's an Alabama fan out of nowhere this season. So
Oh.
Well, Coach Oates, he took us on his boat, so Rico just sucks his dick the entire time. And I mean, he's supposed to be a Duke fan, which I am, and he just off that fucking jump too.
that'll be interesting. But yeah, Brad, we really appreciate the time. Wisconsin outright first place in the Big Ten right now. Control their own destiny to win the conference. Purdue and Nebraska at home to close out the regular season. Brad, good luck the rest of the season. We'll be following and hope to talk to you again soon.
Sounds good. Appreciate you guys.
All right, that was Brad Davison from Wisconsin. I think I'm sensing a similar trend to what we saw with Brad Calipari in Kentucky. You guys hated Kentucky. Brad came on. You're like, all right, he's not so bad. Same thing here, I think.
But that's a little different because Brad, like,
We hate his dad.
I don't like his dad, and that's not his fault. I hate Dad Brad. I hated Brad Davison. Again, if anyone calls us a pussy, like I'm literally telling him I don't like him to his face.
Right.
I still don't. He is a dickhead on the court. But I want to stop doing guests that we don't like because he just has an answer for everything and was very nice.
This is sports, though. Like we hate him because we're playing. I guess technically playing against him, rooting against him. Everyone on the Wisconsin team is happy that they have him.
Oh,
And that happens
yeah,
everywhere.
Yeah.
for sure.
Every,
You don't know
Duke fans, you guys love Grayson Allen, right?
He's the best player of all
Won
time.
a national
He's
title.
Great. Yeah, he literally
He's a catapult
basically
in that-
won us
he
the-
won
in the
that
Final
title.
Four.
Not to
without
say
a
Brad
doubt.
Davison's on the same level as Grayson Allen in terms of villain, but
Close.
Yeah,
A lot of
it's
people
close.
hate him. I think it might be.
I mean,
It's definitely there.
he's not doing any dirty things.
Right.
No,
Brad
but he
Davison.
literally is, if you look up the dirtiest player in college basketball, they say it's Brad
Okay, on the
Davison.
court with the flopping,
But
maybe,
I'm
and
saying,
the charges. yeah.
saying where it's like Grayson Allen, it helps because he's at Duke. To be that hated at Wisconsin is almost impressive. But again, we're talking about him, and and it's sports. I don't fucking hate the guy, but I hate him as a
See,
player.
Rico, that's one thing that Marty said that we have to take into account with our podcast. Okay, we had a blurry video. People are talking about us.
That's true.
It's not the worst thing.
Yeah, the negatives hurt though.
Sure, but it keeps us.
I'm learned. Listen, I had a good performance in that interview.
Yes, you did.
Okay, I played through it.
You are. It is funny though. You are 0 for 3 on people you don't like.
Fran.
Fran got a raw deal.
Yeah, because
The media fucked him.
but you flip flop so fast.
Okay,
Anyways,
I'm reformed.
that
I
was
don't know
awesome.
what
I
I'm
really liked
It
what
was
he was
awesome.
We
saying.
said it. Listen, would I want am I gonna root for the kid all of a sudden? No. To be honest,
No.
I'm not rooting for him.
I simply.
But I
said
get-
I'm
I get what he's
going to
saying.
Tweet at him, fuck you, but I like as a person, seemed like a great guy.
Yeah, I
He
liked his
seems like
answer
a
at
great
the end.
teammate. Yeah, but I'm rooting against him, and I'm rooting against them even harder if they play fucking Alabama.
I hope
That
they
would
lose
be-
the first weekend.
I mean,
If
we're gonna have to
if
talk
it's-
to our friends in Iowa. Iowa's lined up in the 4-5, and then they'll get.
If it's a 4-5,
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, Alabama, it's realistic. Things could get ugly. All right, let's wrap up the show. Not really a beating the buzzer, more of a few storylines to hit, plus some games in between. It's a little mixture of both. The big dog, Ed Cooley, for the first time ever, Providence wins the Big East regular season title. We're not going to break down their blowout win over Creighton, but it's just the big picture. Last year, they were a bad team. John Fanta came on right after their season ended. He's like, Coach Cooley, yeah, this is not the best day for Providence basketball, but he just gave me a free a pizza box just to show how he is. If you were to tell me that night, this is where they'd be today, none of us would believe him.
So now with Providence winning the Big East season right now, regular season, there's only 2 teams that haven't won, DePaul and Butler. So that's pretty crazy. I mean, Providence haven't ever won it. It's a huge accomplishment. Shout out Taylor Swift for bringing the fucking hell for the student section.
We got a little plug with that tweet in the New York Post.
Yep.
It's interesting that anytime Zachy needs fucking views, he goes to us. But
but yeah, I mean, it's a cool accomplishment. I mean, to do what they've done, where Villanova is like the clear favorite.
They were I think they were minus money at the beginning of the season.
They were minus 200, minus 180, and I was like, oh, maybe it'll be Seton Hall. We were right. I think we said that Villanova's not going to win it.
We were sweating for a while, but yeah.
And I'll tell you this: if you said Providence, I would have laughed you off this podcast.
Right.
So shout out to I think this is a clear cut. Ed Cooley is the national coach of the year.
100%. There's really no way to
any debate.
Yeah.
Even more so. Here's my question: into the tournament, right? You have the fucking Joey and the Cubes, or fucking Seth in accounting, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you fill out a bracket, you watch the games." I think most people, casual viewers, like if you know the storylines, Cooley's got to be probably the guy. This is the team that most people would, without a rooting interest, would get behind. If you know all about
his personality.
Right? Yeah. Like I just think a lot of like a casual I could just see it like when they do the tournament features. You know how they do those like the game day type things? They do it on CBS. They'll probably do something on Cooley like wanted this job, like from the area, like all he's been through, like charismatic guy. Like I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, you know what? When do they play? Thursday night? I'm rooting for them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I just think a lot of people are going to be behind Providence, and rightfully so.
It's amazing.
I mean, he's a guy to root for. Small Catholic school, like he's a guy to root for.
Our first guest on Barstool Bench Mob.
Yes,
ever. So yeah, shout out Providence, and then a few other top 10 games we didn't hit on. Another upset. TCU is an NCAA tournament team. They beat number 9 Texas Tech. They should be dancing for the first time since 2018. They're another one of those teams. All right, they might be like an 8 seed, but they play Gonzaga. That's no cakewalk for Gonzaga. No. TCU, Jamie Dixon's a good coach.
No, yeah, it's not at all. This game does nothing for me, though. Texas Tech will be fine. And TCU, it just again shows the Big 12 is fucking.
All right, so here's the only thing on Texas Tech, though. Do these 5 to 6 minute stretches, like I talked about the other night when they went 8 minutes without a field goal, do they worry you a little bit?
Yeah, they do.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing.
I think their defense is so good, but I think they just need to Shannon just needs to figure it the fuck out.
It goes back to Virginia. Like you're more don't get me wrong. You hang your hat on this unbelievable defense and slow tempo, and you hold the team to 50 points through 34 minutes. That's great, but you only have 56. So you go cold for the last 6.
Yeah,
there's an opportunity to lose. That's the only thing. Like they could play like shit, score 61, and beat you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the other element of it as well. So
they're a frustrating team to play.
Yeah, but TCU, Jamie Dixon. He's been in
I like Jamie
before.
Dixon, another guy to root for. Obviously, ties here with Big East, like had guys who played for him. Like Jamie Dixon's the guy to root for, and it didn't look like it was working out in TCU. For what you know, what I mean? Like he was a guy. Yeah, I mean, I know he played there. He wanted to go there. So like,
Mike Miles, a good player,
right?
So shout out them. And then the other top 10 game, we touched on it earlier. Marty's team smoked my team.
It seems really long to bring this one up.
If we led this week's episode with Duke, I would have given permission for people to unsubscribe.
Not let off with it, but it's Jake's team is Syracuse, and it's just really.
Did they give him a gift? Because I've kind of seen. Maybe I'm not seeing as much. I know Louisville gave him a bat.
Virginia did.
Yeah, has the gift?
You know what? Maybe
they haven't given him a lot of gifts.
No, I think he's always got. I just don't think they show it. It's weird.
Right.
Also,
yeah. Like
maybe
we don't
they
know
did when they went to Duke.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah,
this is the first team ever in the ACC. The first time, not because it obviously changed. First time ever a team has beaten Syracuse under Jim Boeheim to win both times by 20 plus, and they beat the shit out of them. Fuck the game. I really do think Duke has been playing better. They put Roach on the bench. He's not the starting point guard anymore, and he has been playing 10 times better. And I think that's the rotation that is helping them even play. Like, Mark Williams is the X factor. I don't care. Paolo's really good. AJ Griffin, sure. Keel's sure. Mark Williams, they had no answer for him. He's fucking unbelievable. So that's where Duke's gonna, and he's not a freshman, so it'll help the team a lot.
All eyes, of course, Tuesday at Pitt will be. They should take care of business, and then we'll be doing a live stream, by the way, Saturday night in Hoboken. If they lose that game,
I'll be so upset.
I think listen, Carolina, we saw it yesterday. Carolina can get hot from 3, but I just think with the magnitude, like, it would take a lot for Duke to lose that.
And
They'd
beat the
really
shit
have
out
to
of
lay an
already.
egg, like, or these kids would really have to, like, fuck it up.
yeah. Ken Palm has a 12-point win for Duke right now.
I think it's going to be uneventful, if that makes sense.
You think it'll be a blowout?
I could see.
think that's
Also,
always right.
here's the worst case. I could see this.
You never do
I-
your thing Friday, by the way. You're 16 for 16
Oh yes, I'll do it.
on another reasonable day. Maybe tomorrow.
I could see
Monday.
Duke-
Monday's a light day.
I'll do it tomorrow.
The more likely occurrence I see is a letdown in this game. Duke kind of plays
20
like
games.
shit. Carolina mucks it up, and
Yeah.
Duke leads from like 8 to 16 to 12 to like just wins gross. Carolina's never in it, and Duke just wins when you're like, that was kind of a waste. That was kind of a letdown. You know what I mean? That's what I most likely see.
Yeah, it'll probably be a blowout, but we'll see. It's going to be interesting. Just like the Stars, they're going to have that coming back from a commercial, the Stars in attendance. There's going to be some names there.
Yeah, it's like $9,000 to get a ticket.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Duke Syracuse. Syracuse, that's an embarrassing performance. You can't have that. Boeheim confirmed he'd be back next year.
Oh my god.
Post game.
Jesus
Biggest
Christ.
takeaway.
Why
Yeah.
did he get to confirm he's coming back?
What do you mean?
They're not gonna fire him. You can't fire Jim Boeheim.
Just start cleaning out his desk one by one.
I mean,
Not
no
saying
joke.
fire
though.
the guy, obviously, but like
Yeah,
enough
they're-
said. The guy, when was he supposed to retire? Like 5 years ago, he said.
So when I was there, my
they're-
sophomore
whatever.
year, he said he had 3 years left.
yeah, that was 8 years ago.
But then his son started coming, and he obviously wanted to coach them.
it's
As he
crazy.
should.
I mean,
It's
it's
amazing
crazy what
how
he did.
many fucking coaches' sons are on their teams.
Wild.
So many.
Yeah,
Wild.
It's like it's just, and they're all usually on the fucking bench.
Yeah, we saw Tom Izzo's son in
I
Iowa.
couldn't believe that's what I'm saying. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah. So those are the top 10 games.
Coach K's got his grandson on the team.
whapped the 3.
We mentioned Oregon a little bit. That USC shot Drew Peterson. Shout out for him hitting the clutch 3. Oregon probably not in. And then lastly,
All right, but real quick, the Pac-12 has 3 teams who are ranked,
yeah,
right? How do you not reward the 4th team going through that tough league? Like,
because they have some bad
fair
losses.
enough. Fair enough. I got it.
Yeah.
If they get to the conference semis, I think they should be in.
They maybe have
They
an
should be
outside
in.
shot.
They should
If
be
They can
in.
beat 2 of those 3 teams.
No, I
an
get it. I'm
outside
just
shot.
saying the
outside shot.
Pac-12 last year was a joke. Pac-12 this year is pretty difficult.
If they
Like, why
end
are we
up
not?
beating UCLA 3 times,
But getting blown out to Arizona State
I
and
know,
Cal
but,
is
but like
bad.
beating UCLA 3 times is like a lot. And
Look
it,
at Rutgers.
not to me.
They're the Rutgers.
It all
probably
depends on the
wrong side
bubble.
of
Like Murray
right
State
now.
has to win their conference.
No, not them. They're ranked right now.
What do you?
They
Yeah.
get at large.
No, Murray State has to win though, so it keeps the amount of bids.
Oh, bids. Yes,
If
I thought you were talking
Belmont
about
wins, it
at
loses
large.
a bid. Same with
right.
well, yeah. I mean, there's definitely other leagues that are not going off the top of my head, but either way, like, or it's the same thing like we saw last year. Georgetown stole a bid.
Yeah.
The A10, it fucking trying to think. St. Joe's wins the league, which they won't. They win the league, steals a bid. Like
Yeah.
you start. So it depends how Oregon needs all that stuff to fly. Maryland, by the way, blowing out Ohio State.
Yeah, Maryland. Maryland's up 14 with
Oh,
3
Ohio
minutes
State.
left.
So
Ohio
high.
State.
Damn
Yeah,
it.
they just had that big win on Thursday. We didn't even talk about
Yeah,
that.
but Maryland.
Brad
looked
Underwood
like-
getting ejected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was pointing. That was great. But yeah, Murray State did smoke Belmont on Thursday as well. Quick shout out buzzer beater that FSU went over Virginia. That was insane.
Yeah.
FSU, they're
It's amazing to me that FSU hasn't been on this radar. We haven't talked about FSU at all.
because they lost their best player and they've won 2
I
games
get it.
since
Fair
then.
enough. It's just
Yeah.
weird that you talk about a staple, FSU. Like,
Yeah. And the last thing I wanted to touch on is we have brackets. There's about 7 or 8 conferences. Regular season's over. First bid will be awarded Saturday night, Ohio Valley. Some things of note. Bryant steals the NEC regular season title from Wagner. Wagner was on cruise control, dropped 3 out of 5 to close out. And then Northern Iowa actually won the Missouri Valley. AJ Green was their best player. He missed last season, 32 against Loyola. I don't think Loyola's... It might be an at-large consideration. I don't know anymore. But it might be a one-bid league.
Close.
I'm not
There's a
sure.
lot
They
of
were
these
ranked
teams,
earlier in
yeah,
the team
it's-
too.
Rutgers, Indiana is going to be basically a de facto elimination type game. a lot of these conference tournaments are basically going to be de facto elimination games
Yeah,
in
so
the powers.
The
Like
ASUN,
Big 12, like TCU playing Oklahoma. You know, I mean, Oklahoma's distant, but you start to see it all. You know, they're all right there.
We
So,
also have the Horizon bracket. Last year, that was an unreal tournament. I know, Marty, you're probably not interested, but
Championship.
Tournaments?
I gamble on all of that.
that's fair. All right, yeah.
yeah,
so,
we'll have futures too. We'll start looking at odds to win the conference.
yeah, so
as well.
ASUN, NEC, Patriot, Sunbelt, Horizon, Missouri Valley, OVC, and WCC. Are
Also,
out.
a little disrespect to Bryant. We'll end on this real quick. Every time in bracketology, Bryant's now the one. They keep putting Wagner in these fucking brackets.
Oh, well, yeah. What I do
What
and
the
what
fuck?
I think the other guys do is whoever's leading the conference.
Yeah,
they
well,
just
guess
put
what?
in.
They're not leading the conference anymore.
Yeah, they should have changed it. In
Respect
my bracket,
Jared Grosso.
in my bracket tomorrow,
Shout
today,
out Bryant. They're
depending
also
on
sending
Monday,
boxes tomorrow, they promise.
Bryant will be replacing Wagner because they're the top seed.
What? Yeah,
Bryant will be in my bracket.
Respect Jared Grosso.
Yeah, they'll be the 14 or
Title
15
runs through
seed.
Rhode Island.
Yeah, so that's the show. Thanks again to Brad Davison. Hope you guys enjoyed that one, given the history between him and this podcast. And we will see you all on Thursday. It will be March. The next time you hear our voices on the show, it is March. That makes me so happy.